challenge is automation and artificial intelligence. While technology creates opportunities, it also replaces many routines and low skilled jobs, especially in factories, retail, and services. If workers don't get reskilled or retrained, they might lose jobs and end up in informal or unstable work. The rise of AI also poses risk to artists who spend years perfecting their crafts. Some people are more likely to rely on AI using prompts to create pictures rather than hiring actual artists. Next, sadly, modern slavery is still a major issue today. Over 27 million people worldwide are trapped in forced labor, earning huge profit for exploiters. Many victims work in unsafe conditions in industries like agriculture, services, or even mining. This not only violates human rights but also keep people in poverty. According to a 2024 report by the International Labor Organization, global profits from forced labor have surged by 37% since 2014, reaching an estimate of $236 billion annually. This staggering figure reflects not only on a scale of exploitation but also the financial incentives that fuel it. While only a quarter of victims are subjected to sexual exploitation, this sector generates nearly three quarters, or 73%, of all illicit profits, making it by far the most lucrative form of forced labor. On average, traffickers are estimated to earn 21 pounds, no, 21,000 pounds per victim each year, underscoring how individuals are commodified for financial gain. The International Labor Organization, further estimates that over 27 million people worldwide remain trapped in modern slavery, spanning industries such as manufacturing, services, agriculture, and domestic work. Profits are particularly high in Europe and Central Asia, where exploiters gain greatest return from victims. Beyond the numbers, the report warns that forced labor deepens poverty and inequality, strips individuals of their rights and dignity, and erodes human dignity on a global scale. It calls for urgent, coordinated international action, from stronger legal enforcement to cooperate accountability in supply chains to confront what has become a multi-billion dollars crisis of human suffering. One example is cobalt mining in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Families, including children, work in dangerous conditions just to earn very little. Cobalt is important for making batteries in phones and electric cars, but the human cost behind it is very high. This shows the hidden side of global supply chains and why SDG 8 is so important. According to Siddharth Kara, an author and Harvard graduate who has spent 20 years researching modern slavery, met a young woman sifting dirt for traces of cobalt. Priscilla told him she had suffered two miscarriages and that her husband, a fellow artisanal miner, died of a respiratory disease. She said, "I thank God for taking my babies. Here, it is better not to be born." It is just one of many devastating personal accounts in Cobalt Thread, a detailed expose into the hidden world of small-scale cobalt mining in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, or DRC. The article highlights a disturbing expose from Siddharth Kara's book Cobalt Red, based on his investigative trips to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It reveals the brutal realities of artisanal cobalt mining, where families, including children, dig by hand in regulated toxic and hazardous conditions to have harvest cobalt. Minor injured respiratory diseases, miscarriages, birth defects, poverty, and even the fatal collapses, while earning meager returns. The cobalt they extract supplies some of the richest tech conglomerates globally, making billions from products millions depend on, yet the human cost remains largely unseen and unchecked. Many Congolese workers, like Brazil, whose story Kara recounts, expresses that it is better not to be born, underscoring the deep-seated trauma and suffering behind modern technology. In summary, the challenges of SDG 8 includes unequal recovery after COVID-19, high youth unemployment, the gender wage gap, automation replacing jobs, and modern slavery. These issues reminds us that economic growth must always be inclusive and fair for everyone.
Hi, I'm MJ, and for my part, I'll explain what's being done to achieve SDG 8 and how students like us can also contribute. So, at the global level, the United Nations and the International Labour Organization support more than 20 initiatives here in the Philippines. These cover employment policy advice, social protection programs, and efforts to eliminate forced labor. So, locally, there are several important efforts. One is the partnership between TESDA and DSWD, which provides free technical vocational training and certification for both current and former 4Ps beneficiaries. So this program is not just about training. It also tracks whether people find jobs or start businesses afterward. So it making sure the skills lead to real opportunities. Now, TESDA also has this National Technical Education and Skills Development Plan for 2023 to 2028. It focuses on lifelong learning and employer partnerships to improve workforce readiness. A key feature of this plan is the promotion of green skills in areas like tourism, agriculture, energy, and construction, preparing workers for jobs in a sustainable economy. Lastly, the International Labour Organization implements the Decent Work Country program in the Philippines. This helps strengthen labor governance, align our policies with global standards, and ensure inclusive and secure employment opportunities. So, of course, achieving SDG 8 is not just the responsibility of governments and organizations. Students and youth also have a role to play. We believe that. We can start by supporting local businesses and small entrepreneurs, which helps create jobs in our communities. We can also invest in our skills by taking short courses, test the certifications, or apprenticeships, especially those related to green skills, since they are important for future industries. Another way to contribute is by advocating for labor rights. Even within schools, we can promote awareness about fair wages, safe working conditions, and the fight against child and forced labor. We can also volunteer or intern in community projects and NGOs that focus on livelihood programs. This allows us to gain experience while contributing to social development. And finally, we can practice ethical consumerism by choosing to support brands with fair labor practices and avoiding products linked to child or forced labor. we encourage businesses to be more responsible. So there's many programs are already in place globally and nationally to promote decent work and economic growth. But students and young people are also key in making SDG 8 a reality through supporting local initiatives, building skills, advocating rights, and making ethical choices. We can help create an economy that is not only growing but also fair and inclusive for all. Thank you.